You famously called out our president and said our parliament was filled with clowns. And I don't know, this is about a year ago, maybe even longer than that. Do you have an update on that statement?
Yeah. Yeah, the update would be, let me think about that. Might be, lunatics run the asylum. I think that's really where we are right now. One of the problems I have with South Africans and where we are, just in our lack of political maturity, is our inability to differ politically but want the same thing for our country. And South Africans tend to personalize things that are not. So, for instance, when you're Vusi Thembekwayo and you call out the leader of the nation state, all of a sudden, all sorts of government agencies start phoning you and you get audited and all sorts of things. Just suddenly out of the blue. It's very strange because it certainly doesn't happen in other markets where we operate. I can tell you that for sure. So there's a lot of political immaturity. And I think, frankly, that a lot of the people in the political quarters, a lot of the guys who do state business, what people kind of colloquially call tenderpreneurs, are just panicked at the moment because they know that they've had 30 years of building networks that may or may not get that seat back in that council, may or may not be part of that municipality again, may or may not be part of that provincial authority again. And in the midst of all of this, the politicians themselves are panicked because they're not sure what's going to happen post May 29. So as a consequence, there's a lot of personalization. For me, it really isn't personal. Listen, if you're a king, you must expect to be criticized. It's not the person I'm criticizing. It's the seat and what you're doing with it. And if you're the ruling party, you must expect to be criticized. Not the party we care about. It's what you're doing with the power you've been given and trusted with by the citizens. That's just how it's going to work. And you can't expect the prize without the pressure. That's not the way that leadership works.